me now is a guy that knows what's going on, Michel Juneau-Katsuya, former CSIS intelligence officer and chief of Asia Pacific, who began his career with the RCMP. It's good to have you. Welcome to the show.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
So how new is this level of threat? I guess what I'm wondering is, to what extent have past governments, Mulroney, Trudeau Sr., also had to confront Chinese interference?
For the intelligence world, it's not new. The notion of interference is intrinsically part of the foreign policy of the Chinese government and has been there forever. I can go as far as saying that they wrote the book 2,000 years ago with The Art of War of Sun Tzu that explained very, very well the importance of gaining influence within foreign governments or within your opponent. That is exactly what took place. When I was a chief of Asia Pacific, we had a joint investigation with the RCMP, and we discovered at that time in the mid-90s that the Chinese government was attempting already to influence all political parties. They didn't have one preferred one. They went for all political parties. And in the records of Election Canada, we discovered that the embassy of the Chinese embassy had given money both to the Liberal Party and the Conservative Party. So we can now state officially that since Mr. Mulroney, every single prime minister have been compromised.
So could past governments have done things to mitigate the current escalation? And if so, why not?
Oh yeah, they could have. They could have, definitely, because they had the warning. They received the warning. They choose not to use or to act on that situation, simply because in that perspective, it was helping either them or helping the situation or helping the party. So the only conclusion I can come with after observing 30 years of behavior like this, that every single government, like I said, have been compromised and use the information to their advantage.
The RCMP says it has more than 100 ongoing investigations into foreign interference, of course, one involving a Conservative MP, Michael Chong. Can you describe sort of the nature and the extent of these investigations, just broadly speaking?
Well, the investigation that touch foreign interference go basically in four domains: political interference, industrial interference by trying to steal intellectual property. They go to intimidate and to monitor the community and to intimidate as much as possible dissident, and ultimately also to influence and steal information from the academic world.
Can we presume that all 100 plus of these cases are related to the Chinese? Can we make that assumption?
No, we cannot make that assumption, because we know that other countries are also currently are under investigation. There's many countries that are using foreign interference, and we need to understand the difference also between influence and foreign interference. Influence, every country can do that. We do that when we are abroad. We try to influence favorably for Canada, but foreign interference, understand, excuse me, brings an element of covert activities.
Right. Canada should be a haven for persecution, and yet about a year ago, we learned about police stations. Why are the Chinese acting like police in Canada?
Because they feel that they can do it. When I was talking about being much more audacious, that is part of the element that I'm talking about. Being capable to be bold enough to be present in the community so they can influence, intimidate. Just the single presence of these so-called police station is intimidating, and demonstrate that the government is either powerless or doesn't care or doesn't pay attention sufficiently. Now, the RCMP, to their credit, have reacted very, very quickly when finally it was revealed publicly. And that is probably the value of all these revelations, despite the fact that there's a lot of people in Ottawa who would like to find who released the information. Without that whistleblower, we would not be talking about those things. So this person actually did a great service to this nation.
But it's a violation of international law and also just the norms of diplomacy. And do we know to what extent they're still in operation? I know the RCMP, to your point, has shut a number of them down, but are there others?
There might be others. There will be attempt to reopen new ones covertly again. But the value of all this is that the moment we discovered, the moment that we revealed publicly, we burned. That is the expression that we use in our system. We burned their operations. We burned their capacity to operate. But we need the cooperation of the population, and for that, the trust needs to be built with the understanding that the authority will really act.
Do the powers of the RCMP have to be revised so that they have the tools to fend off foreign interference?
We don't need to extend necessarily their power. We need to give them the tools to be capable to work. But the main problem that the RCMP is currently facing is that the legal framework that we have currently in Canada is not equipped to deal with foreign interference adequately. So just like in Australia, in the US, or in the UK, we need in Canada urgently to get our specific law about foreign interference, define what foreign interference is about, and also define how we can prove it in court so we can punish the one that helped. Because foreign interference is it's not only done by foreign diplomat, it's done with an army of assistants, right, of Canadians that are helping. And frankly, this is close to treason.
Michel, just finally, Canada was one of the first nations in the West to reestablish ties to China. China's done very well in its relationship with Canada and the West with open trade and so on, and their economy has thrived as a result. Why are they picking a fight with Canada?
They're not. They're not picking a fight with us. They don't want to have control with us. They don't want to sort of make life difficult to us. What they want is they want to be capable to influence us. We have a lot to offer. We are a society we're a knowledge-based society. We have national resources that they need and they want. And we have access to knowledge and information from our allies that they would like to gain. Plus, fourth, we are also an access door to a lot of Western agencies and Western countries. So we are really important to them. They don't necessarily want to pick a fight with us. What they want is to be capable, secretly, covertly, to direct the destiny of our country.
Michel Juneau-Katsuya, thank you for your time. There's more after the break.